Invading chat. I am really happy to be here today because I have an in-person guest. Not that split screen stuff. I have an in-person guest, but my manager Debbie is doing a little bit of magic right now for me, getting some things set up. So this will be going on YouTube like it's supposed to, and so she's always instructed me to talk about some general things like weather, and boy, have we been having it. It has been coming down in torrential volumes since last night. I've been doing some cat setting today. I got thoroughly soaked going between the two houses. But it's all good. Where's Sasha? Sasha is going to be making an appearance undoubtedly any moment now. She very ceremoniously threw up on my couch minutes before going on the air. So you should have seen what was taking place here. Me frantically dabbing the couch, vacuuming, cleaning, brushing stuff off. And there's Sasha. Yes, I knew you would make an appearance. This is Sasha Siamese. I'll tell you right now, like and subscribe her channel, Sasha's Siamese Secrets. And hi, Kathy. Thank you for watching from Missouri. That's great. What's it like there right now? How's the weather there for you? And hi, Francine. You're watching from Missouri too. Thank you. Tell me, what's it like there, the weather? I haven't been to Missouri since I was 12 years old. But are you getting all of the East Coast winter weather? We're just getting soaked right now. Hey, Kathy. Yes, Sasha says hello too. Yes, Sasha is adorable. She is always, yes, she's always wanting to steal the limelight. And anyway, we've got a great show today. I don't want to waste too much time, but I've got my best friend in the world here right now. And we've talked forever about doing something together, like maybe one day doing a podcast, doing our own occasional show, because hey, Debbie. Debbie says hi. We have talked about this forever, just because we get together all the time and we go out on long walks and we just go off on tangents. We can talk about anything in the world, and we usually do. We can get deep, intellectual, and we can get puerile, childish, silly as all get go. So I have no idea what's going to happen today, but that's the fun of it, just the spontaneity of the two of us together. So let's see how our magic transfers. I'd like to introduce all of you to the incomparable Anastasia Pavlov.
Well, hello, Dolly.
Hello, Dolly.
Dolly. It's so nice to have you back where you belong.
Well, I didn't go anywhere, darling.
Sasha thinks otherwise. Hello, everyone.
Hi out there in TV land.
Hi.
Hi, Fred. Hi, Ethel.
Lucy, I'm home.
Yes, you are. Because of the rain and the traffic, she was running a little late. And I thought, well, if I have to, I'll just start the show without her. And then I'll hear a knocking and I'll go, hark, I hear a knocking at my door. Why, look who's here. It'll be like, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood or something,
Howdy, neighbor.
Only I would think a very R-rated version of Mr. Rogers. An emphasis on the R in Rogers, right?
R, matey.
Yes, R. Well, I can't believe you're really here. You're
I'm
not
really
on a split
here.
screen.
I'm really
You're actually here, and we can
I'm
get
really here.
Here.
There's no here though.
Yeah. In fact, what are we going to talk about today? We've talked about this forever.
Yeah.
Here we are. Here's our moment.
We made it.
In the spotlight. We made it. So what's this going to be? I'm just looking at some comments here. Oh, yes. Debbie said, come and knock on my door. Debbie said, look at you two. Yes, look at us too.
Let's get all cozy.
Let's see what you say in an hour from now. You know what?
Okay. Stop the cameras. We can't look at them one moment longer.
Oh my God. But anyway, you got here on time. My cat vomited on the couch.
Yes, she did.
Just before. I mean, there's something about cats. They love to throw up on bedspreads, cashmere sweaters. In this case, she went right to the dividing part of the two cushions of the couch, square in the middle.
Yeah.
Blech.
Mind you, after he vacuumed
Yes,
laboriously,
yes.
painstakingly, with an attention to detail, everything so that my lovely outfit,
Yes, show it off, honey.
I even wore the fishnets for you all today so that nothing would be
Yeah.
marred by the extra cat's worth of hair
know.
that was actually on this couch.
But Sasha the Siamese had her own ideas.
Yeah. So I don't know. Let's see. I do have glasses to see you all better.
Yeah.
So I might have to put these on. Glasses on.
Oh,
Glasses off.
wow. Tisha's here is dying to hear about Lucy.
Oh my
well,
God,
maybe
Lucy.
we'll get around to Lucy today.
Go
Or-
ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say,
Or what? Well, I think this could be a nice little segue.
a
So
segue. Okay.
there are so few people in the world with whom I can share this gift, you could say, that I have, that
Mhm.
also Chuck has. Is this something you want to talk about? The red chair?
The red chair. Well,
Is that-
yes, Lucy does come here to visit from time to time. She visits both of us, and I would show you the chair, except there's her coats and her umbrella and there's a whole bunch of stuff on top of it. But I have a leather chair here in the apartment that Lucy does like to come and sit on. Now you can take that at face value for wherever you want, but I know it's her, and you know it's her because you've been here when she's been here.
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
So yeah, this why the heck would we even want to do a show together? What actually drew us together in the first place? Well, most likely a soul contract, most likely fate, destiny.
Oh, yeah.
And I think before we were even incarnated, I know that we were most, I don't know, I feel like there was like a mother, daughter, father, son. There could have been brother, sister.
We could have been a couple of psychopathic sex slaves. I don't know.
BDSM dungeon sex slave.
Yes, exactly.
He was over there, like in
Yeah.
Monty Python. He's upside down. I'm right side up, and we're like, hello.
Yes, mercy.
Yes, or maybe we were married, or maybe we were divorced, or maybe I was the priest and he was. We're not going to continue that line of thought.
Well, priest altar boy. I don't know.
Oh God,
I said it. Okay.
He went there. I didn't. I stopped you. I saved you from that.
Yes, you tried to save me from myself.
But no,
you've tried to do that a lot of times.
I've tried to save him. So actually, I met him as his boss.
Yes,
so
that's
I was
true.
his supervisor. So I don't doubt in some past life there was that dynamic, a power
This
dynamic,
is true.
a power differential.
Because we go back, it was the year 2012? 2012.
Finishing
Yeah.
each other's sentences now. Yeah,
Yes,
2012.
Uh-huh.
Where are we? Oh, it's been 12 years.
Yes, it's 2024.
A generation.
A generation has gone
How
by.
about that?
Fuck, we're old.
We're old. We don't say how old I am.
Oh, no, we're not going to.
24, and there's so much more.
I'm 23. I'm 23. But
that's right. There's a power differential. I am older.
Yeah. Okay. Well, at least we're going to stick to those stories anyway.
I love that. But yeah, so fate brought us together. And
yes,
so many
absolutely.
Circumstances that are for another time, another story. Another movie.
We are going to have to do a show together.
We will have to do a show
too
together.
many stories to tell.
Too many.
Just telling how we met
is extraordinary.
How it all began.
A certain F squared. We won't go beyond F squared.
Oh no,
I
don't want to taint my show with the mention of a certain former boss.
Nope, I'm gonna cut him off right there. Yeah, we don't even have to go there at all, because this, so as you see, so this is why we take 5-hour walks and we get to the thing we started with, we wanted to talk about after 5 hours. So we speak circumlocutiously, because this began with a wonderful question about Lucille Ball.
Yes.
And
I've never heard of her. Who is she?
What I was saying.
People keep telling me I'd like that show she did back in the 50s, but it's in black and white. You know how I feel about black and white shows, but
so we yes, we met, and we learned not too much longer that we share these sort of gifts of seeing into the realms of things, a certain level of clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience. But for me, my access point into this has always been dreams. There are prophetic dreamers in my family. I come from an ethnic religious community that's extremely obscure. In the United States, there are only about 10,000 of us left. In the Transcaucasus region, so that would be Azerbaijan. That's what she said. Sorry, I'm also puerile. Did you get that? Transcaucasus. Okay, anyway. So we've got
meaning childish.
Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan, Iran, Georgia, Armenia, Turkey. So what was, at one point the USSR, and before that, God even knows what was going on there. But it was really an area where they sent dissidents, people that didn't agree with actually whether you were coming from the south of Russia or north in Russia, like say closer to Finland, or they'd send you sometimes to Siberia, or they even take you out of Siberia and put you down in the south of Russia, which is where my people are from. So we are considered spiritual Christians. I will not give you the name of the group just for their privacy, but they're similar to the Duke of Wars or the Old Believers. They're also similar to the Hasidic Jews. So they practice this very intense Old Testament laws and covenants. So they follow, being very, very strictly kosher. We are pacifists. I could go on and on, but I say some of this because there's a spiritual, esoteric, mystical aspect of it. This aspect, in part, shows itself in people who are these sort of seers or dreamers or speakers. They receive visions and insights ahead of time, and it only comes when it's absolutely necessary. This isn't a parlor trick. This isn't something that you do necessarily for pay. However, it has saved the lives of our people because we had a prophetic dream and a prophetic word that came through right before the Russian Revolution. So there was a wave of immigration in 1905.
I never knew this.
Yeah, we actually got out. A lot of us. My family was part of that first wave. My father's parents, so my paternal grandparents, and then my maternal great grandparents came out of that first wave of immigration. So we were saved from the first wave of intense sort of pogroms and genocides that hit right before the revolution hit in 1918 or so, and when everything just broke loose, all hell broke loose.
You've never told me this.
Look at this.
I'm learning alongside you. I told you, she's fascinating.
Oh my God.
This is why we can go for, as you said, 5-hour walks. You have a what do they call it? That pedometer? Is that the right word for it on your phone?
Yeah.
We were shocked to find we had walked 5 miles once. We thought we had
just walked for maybe, I don't know, 500 steps.
Yeah. No, we just get into these conversations and we can go off on tangents and get on the phone. And I always knew from the beginning I was going to do a show like this. There was no way I was not going to have her as a regular guest. I'm excited. This has actually become reality. We are actually broadcasting to the world right now.
And so I definitely want to get back to the beautiful point of Lucy. So long story short, there are these gifts that I have that Chuck has, and things that we cannot talk to almost anyone, just like my ex-boyfriend who called me cuckoo crazy for sharing some of this information with him once. But we won't bring him up too much more. But, or just like F squared.
Well, it's my understanding he couldn't bring himself up. But
no, we're going there.
No. I'm sorry. That was too much information.
Okay.
Sorry.
Whoa.
But sorry, but this is the way our minds work. We feed off of each other.
And mind you, we're not going to show you what this is, but we haven't even drunk any of this yet, folks.
Well, then we got to correct that situation.
This is our natural state. This is Chuck and Anastasia out in the wild. It's a bit much, is it not? But it's perfect. It's perfect. Okay.
I asked her before the show, should we do this on air, drink wine like we normally do? And I thought, well, this is what we normally do.
Yes, Professor Pavlov needs to put her glasses on. This is what we normally do. And this is an homage for the person who talked about Lucy, because this is red. Anytime we start to see red, Lucy is present. She appears and comes to us like we won't even realize that there's something red around us. And suddenly we're like, is Lucy here? And then it's like, bam, it's almost like a firework goes off and a firework goes off. So an homage of the late, great Lucille Ball, who's still with us and always here as an amazing and beautiful and powerful spirit guide. She is so dynamic. She's like, tell me more. Tell me more.
Lucy was a Leo.
Great, the Leo. I have a lot of Leo. I got some Leo. I got some fire. If you saw Joyce's show, I got some fiery
Joyce said
Leo
I have some Leo too.
Yeah.
It gives me fire.
Yeah. But
I don't know if Joyce is watching us right now. No, I don't see her.
Lucy, just the greatest comedian of all time. One of the most recognizable celebrities in the world, globally, not just in the United States.
78 countries. It has been estimated over 3 billion people over the course of 72 years have seen Lucy, and historians have actually formally stated she is likely the most viewed human being in the history of humanity. So I'll let you pour your glass.
So how about those facts? So this is
how about them apples, huh?
In honor of the of the great Leo herself, of Lucille Ball, and the person who asked that, and anyone else who's asked about Lucy tonight, today, forever and ever, amen. To Lucy.
To Lucy.
Cheers.
And to us, to
Yay.
our inaugural show. We shall we say we popped that cherry today? I mean,
We
I'm
did
sorry.
indeed.
We
And we're
are
putting it on top of the cake. Have a sip of wine, and I'm going to talk about.
Pam, Pomona, hi. I'm glad you joined us. And I'm trying to see who
We're
else is
not
here.
Ozzy or Harriet.
We are
yeah.
not Ozzy and Harriet, not by a long shot. What are we?
I
gotta think.
Whoa, that tongue
Well, we're not
tied me.
Ozzy and Harriet. We're not Lucy and Ricky.
I
We're
thought of Dick and Jane, but that
Dick and Jane.
Dick and Cat,
Dick and Cat.
Pussycat,
Oh, Pussycat.
for
okay.
obvious reasons. Okay.
Okay. Really obvious.
Sorry, that
reasons.
was terrible. God, again, puerile. We're going on 13 years old here. And
Yeah,
I
but-
love it. I
but-
love it.
Joyce is here. Pam is here.
Welcome everyone who's here.
I know you two are going to want to have her on your shows too. Joyce, you've already had her. Now I've got her. We're just going to rotate Anastasia around. She's going to be, quote unquote, the guest that we all get
In the brothel of Anastasia.
like you won't
apparently.
need your own show. You're just going to
Just
appear. You're
spread
going to
them, lady.
rotate appearances on all of our shows.
I hope none of you saw Poor Things. Oh boy.
Oh, tell me about that.
No, I just said in the brothel of Anastasia. Just spread them. Yes, they're gonna rotate everyone through my whorehouse of one here. And I, by the way, I do have a cat too. I have a very, very beautifully plump, fat black cat for the witch I am. I'm not witchy in terms of being bitchy, but I definitely have a very Wiccan sensibility, goddess, high priestess sensibility. But I have a very big, beautiful, flat black cat named Galaxy. She
Mhm.
contains multitude. She is missing a paw. She is missing her back left leg. She has quite a beautiful story. She has appeared on my YouTube channel, which is the Sacred Spheres. But she also has her own Instagram, which is what is it actually? Oh, at Galaxy I Am Queen, because she is queen of all, and she's a motivational, or as we say, meow-motivational speaker. And
Is she your muse?
Oh, she is my muse, and I'm her meow me. And
Is it all about me?
It's
Ow.
it's possum.
And let me see. You wanted to get your doctorate in literature, right?
I almost did get my doctorate in. I think.
Yes, I can tell.
Almost. No, in American studies. My field was, we're all over the place, was American literary modernism. But my cat is a motivational speaker. She's very snarky and brilliant. You should follow her.
Yes, she is.
She's an adorable little thing. She actually hisses at you, but you can pet her belly at the same time because of the trauma.
I'm that way too.
The trauma she went through was such that she hisses and growls, but just for effect. She knows that we actually find that terrifying as humans, but she will not attack you, actually.
No, she won't.
Yeah. So and she's so fat. I love it so much because she can't move very much and she has to eat. She has after my dad passed away, she was born. I feel like a little bit of my dad's in there. Love you, Dad. Shout out to Dad. Rest in peace. My dad loved to eat. Like he would sing to his food, like literally conduct his food like in symphony. And Galaxy has that. My cat likes chocolate. She likes pepper jack cheese, and I've been craving cake lately.
You told me this last night.
And my cat keeps trying to eat my cake. So she's just a sweetie pie and a little fatso, but she lets me bury my head in her belly and like tap her little fluffy butt and her little haunches and just
Gee, you don't do that for me. I mean, and she, as you'd say that, I thought all my cat does is throw up on the couch.
Oh, babe, she's jealous.
Yeah, I better put her down.
But
too much attention in
too
the
much
limelight.
too much energy. Also, so I have a way of working psychically where I just ask and I receive what I need. So, guides, may I introduce who's here today? Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, of course.
Oh, tell us.
Lucy is
who's here.
Also, I work at a very iconic hotel in Hollywood.
Does.
I cannot mention what it is, but it
Can I say it?
No, you can't.
Okay.
We can't talk about it at all.
Okay.
So sorry, we leave you in suspense. But it's a place where I'm not going to name what ceremony was held there either, because you could easily find out.
I will just let you talk.
We will say that folks from the early 20th century until now who are A-list in Hollywood have been through their party there, lived there. They have they've held their press junkets, their after
Committed
parties there.
debauchery.
Yes,
Yeah.
many sins, all the deadly sins and more
Oh, and more.
exponentially have happened there. And as such, it's a very liminal space. It's very rich. The field is very dense. And it is imperative that I bring support. I do ritual around myself. I surround myself. If anyone wants to know, there's a wonderful practice of surrounding yourself with this sort of orb of energy. I surround myself with unconditional love, pure love, and I imagine that, I see that, I fill it with normally the gold frequency, as I call it, or Oracle Girl Jacqueline Faye Hobbs calls it, the violet flame with sometimes a soft pink light. I often have had pink hair that's very resonant. It's a rose, it's high vibrational
also the
energy.
violet flame transmutes.
Yes, exactly. With the violet flame, the gold frequency, the great spirit, the great light. I have certain guides who are even present in that. And then around that, I put clarity through which I see with compassion. Around that, I have an orb of protection. I'm not going to get too personal and tell you what it is. It's a sort of material I almost work with. And then around that is another orb of protection. And then I have this like force field, almost like in Star Wars. It's going boom, boom, boom. It's almost like it was once this color and then it became a supernova. It was like a planet. And then the planet blew up and became a supernova, a star. And then it be transformed into these colors. And then around that, I have these even bigger sort of all powerful like guides that are a part of all that is. But there are these like these phenomenal sacred feminine guides, and then I can see the entire universe, and then the universe around that, and the universe around that, and then everything inside, outside, upside down, including what I call the time factory, where all of this has been created. But I do this, and I invite in guides, and some of those are here today. So without further ado, we already welcomed Lucille Ball. So Lucy, again, welcome, Lucy. She's here. So also, if folks have questions for them, because so again, long story short, Chuck and I are channels or mediums. We communicate. I work in the space betwixt and between. We call it, sort of being a lighthouse between the realms, between being embodied and dropping the body. But it's not simply about death in that regard, being a sort of death doula midwife. It's also about loss, grief in this lifetime. That is something as small as, oh my God, we lost a couple seconds because Sasha threw up on the couch. Oh my goodness.
Always more than a couple of seconds.
For sure. And because we have all these sort of micro grievances, so to speak, and losses. And it's so imperative to allow ourselves in this realm, this sort of dualistic realm in which we are still a part of all that is, and we're in the oneness, but we're also in this binary, and we're in this space, this yin and this yang space, this space where the black and the white, as you said, where also there is color, but also we sometimes have to deal with the laws of thermodynamics and entropy and everything falling to shit. And as such, this is only constant in life, change, and it's imperative that we learn how to navigate and flow with that. So that's something it's so, because people say death doula, good Lord, that's grim, it's just heavy and dark.
It sounds like something out of Star Wars.
And no, I am Darth Vader, but I'm also Princess Leia, and you might see me with my space bun sometimes too. But getting Leia, oh Lord. Okay. Wow. But so no, there is a lot of brightness and lightness, because on the other side of death is also life, is resurrection, and that's what my name translates to. Anastasia is from the Greek Anastasis, and that literally means resurrection. They use it in theology to describe the resurrection of Christ. And with that said, so I work with a lot of folks who have passed on, and so did Chuck.
I might add, the name Lucille, as in Lucille Ball, literally translates to mean carrier of light.
Oh my God!
Yes.
This is amazing.
Isn't that something?
This is and this is again how I naturally am, and how Chuck naturally is. If you have not noted, I've only taken one baby sip of that, maybe two baby sips.
You've got to get caught up then.
All right. So again, without further ado,
let's see if we have any comments here. But anyway,
welcome. I'm gonna. All right. Lucy, welcome. Okay. And we're
me
looking
too.
at comments.
We're just looking at comments here. I was doing this while you were talking of it.
Elizabeth Taylor
Elizabeth
is
Taylor.
a very beloved friend. Actually, very beloved to Chuck. I've been introduced more recently to working with Elizabeth. She plays Cupid. She is a doll. She comes to us in I'm sorry to use the word come. She shows herself to us in purple, little flourishes of purple and violet.
But she's very playful. She's fun. Loves to play Cupid. you don't, not that you have to go to a gravesite to communicate with a soul. In fact, it's usually the opposite, because
Yeah.
that they're not there,
They
but
don't wanna be
but they
there.
are there and they're not there. But we went to Elizabeth Taylor's magnificent gravesite at
Gorgeous.
Forest Lawn. It's
Yeah.
one of the most beautiful
Oh my
probably there.
gosh.
She has this, would you say it's like a 20-foot high statue of an
Oh,
angel,
yeah.
and she has
It's imposing.
orchids. I think she made provisions in her will that fresh
Yeah.
orchids be brought 2 or 3 times a week.
Yeah.
So many of the graves there are restricted to the public,
Mhm.
and
Like Michael Jackson.
yeah, like
Yeah.
Michael Jackson, for example, Jean Harlow, Clark Gable, Carol Lombard. And I talked to the security guard. He said Elizabeth came there. She personally picked the spot, and she said, I want a beautiful place that's easy for my fans to come to, and they can visit me anytime they want. So I brought Anastasia there, and we
Yeah.
sat there.
Yeah.
And it's right next to this other room where they've got a glass stained you're laughing, yeah, this glass stained replica of the Last Supper, and they have this god awful recording that they play on a loop every 5 minutes. And we were both going, oh, poor Elizabeth. Can you imagine having to listen to that? And we both
At
heard
the same
Elizabeth
time.
say, well, how do you think I fucking feel having to listen to this all day
All
long?
the time.
But that's Elizabeth's humor.
She is I didn't realize she was so vulgar and
Oh,
crass.
I knew that, but it
I
was
didn't know
so
that.
funny. But we
She's
both heard
hilarious.
it together.
Yeah.
We broke out
I
laughing.
heard it and I told him, and then he basically had a version of the same thing that she said to me. It was hilarious. Oh my goodness. So welcome, Elizabeth.
Yeah.
And then let's see here. Oh, our beloved Jacqueline.
Yes, Jacqueline. Well, everybody knows her as Jackie Kennedy, but
Jackie O.
I channel her, and I was, I write in a journal as I hear her, and she was just saying, I loved the name Jacqueline. I wish people had called me that.
Yeah.
So I started honoring her by referring to her that way, and then told Anastasia about it, and you started channeling her. In fact, she gave you
a rock.
She gave you decorating tips.
Oh,
Tell people about that.
I mean, as we know, Jacqueline had the most impeccable taste. The way she was dressed, there were so many different people, so to speak, auditioned to be the person, her couturier, and she landed on this one.
Ola Cassini.
Yeah, and Chuck told me the story. He's told it to me many times, where he basically promised her basically. Actually, you tell the story.
The story was,
Yeah.
Her husband he was still the president-elect. It was late November. She was in the hospital. She had just given birth to John Jr., and she was interviewing not costume designers,
Couturiers.
Couturiers. Thank you. And, she took her role as First Lady seriously, and she knew she needed to look her best. Ola Cassini came with some sketches and said, my advice to you is, and you don't have to hire me, but my advice to you is have one designer create your whole look for you and give you a look that no other woman in the world has.
Yeah.
She loved it. And she said, you're hired.
Yeah.
And Ola Cassini, of course, created the pillbox hats, the A-frame dresses, basically all the, wouldn't you say, the trends for women's fashion in the 60s started with her and Ola Cassini, and that's where it came from. So anyway, that's the story. So you were going to say.
Yeah, and on top of that, she also was absolutely brilliant and worked, was it as an editor for, was it Random House?
She was at, I think, I could be wrong on this. I think it was Viking was one. And
that's Viking Double Day Press. Yeah.
Maybe Random House. I am ashamed to say I don't know. We could look it up on my phone while you're talking.
But she was so on top of
she was an editor. She loved books.
Yeah.
That was it was a passion of hers.
Yeah.
She certainly, let's face it, she didn't need the money.
Yeah.
She didn't need the money. She just wanted to work. She wanted to do something purposeful, useful. She had a great love for books. She loved the design of a book. She loved the feel, the texture, the pages. She had a wonderful instinct for knowing what to pick.
And she loved books to the extent where she would even decorate with books. And that's where I was, what I was getting to, because her, obviously she had an impeccable sense of interior design, which she brought to the White House and to her personal life as well. Outside the White House, she would even, perhaps put together books in a way where it almost create like a little tiny, almost like a coffee table that you could put something else on top. I mean, books can be used so strategically. I do that too. An academic in waiting, we could say, like a lady in waiting. My intense passion was to be a professor of literature. I do write. That's my training. I learned to sing, and I've been trained as a singer way before that. Don't let Hello Dolly, if you listen to the beginning of this broadcast, turn you off.
I think we've done plenty to turn people off.
But I sing gospel. I have opera singers in my family. When folks came from Russia, one of them ended up in the San Francisco Opera. But blues, soul. I've been in blues rock band. I've been all over the map. But I began because the ethnic religious community, for those who are here listening to me talk about that, I come from practices an oral tradition, so everything is sung. And multiple part harmony. It starts with just, maybe 4 parts or so, just normal sort of, bass, baritone, tenor, alto, soprano. So 4 or 5 parts. And then people start to harmonize in between the parts, in the intervals, in the space between the intervals, and the space between the spaces between the intervals. It is
infinite.
It is infinite. It is a very ancient form of call and response singing. It's very similar to African chorale music. It's similar to the Mordvins. Those are ancient Finns, where our group originally comes from, until we were exiled and put into diaspora in the south of Russia. And then we have little communities in Australia, in Mexico, Southern California, and there's a tiny one now in Oregon, I believe, as well as in Arizona. But I've been singing before I've been writing. But all of that to say, going back to see how my mind works now, we're going back to the books and interior design and Jacqueline, who
let's go back to Jacqueline,
because Jacqueline she has this prowess for her impeccable taste. And I was at this moment where COVID hit, right? And I lost my roommate, and I have this beautiful 1929 townhome. It looks like a Bavarian cottage. It's actually called a Snow White cottage. So Walt Disney actually, he was animating his first movie, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, around the time where there was all this particular Bavarian, you could say, architecture
the
in
houses,
the Los Feliz area.
Where he actually housed some of his animators is just down the street from where I live, as you're going toward Gelson's grocery store. And of course, the Gelson's grocery store is built on top of where the Walt Disney Studios used to be. People don't know, when they're in that parking lot, they're actually standing where Snow White and Mickey Mouse were being animated. And that's a fact. But the cottages are there, and they do look exactly like the dwarf's cottage in Snow White.
And so this particular architectural style inspired Walt Disney to animate this cottage in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And I live not in one that's historically preserved. It's a little rough and tumble, but it's still gorgeous. But I lost my roommate during COVID. I suddenly had, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I cannot equate you with Snow White.
Actually,
I'm thinking of that Mae West joke. They used to call me Snow White, and then I drifted.
That's me. My hair is almost black, and I have very porcelain skin. But we've gone in a different direction, folks. But
well, actually, it wasn't a hair color. I was talking about that.
Well, so the curtains match.
No,
they don't at all.
No, I meant the pure and virtuous Snow White.
I know.
Well, you are the fairest in the land. I'll give you that. Okay.
Oh, thank you, my dear.
But just watch out for those evil queens with those poison apples.
I could think of a few.
No, I know we both can, but anyway.
So in the end, I ended up during COVID with this huge apartment to furnish, and I was overwhelmed, and I also didn't know how to afford it. I was in surrender. I really had to up my game with guidance and really put, walk the walk and put my money where my mouth is, or my mouth where my money is.
I think it works either way.
You did a lick.
It works either way.
Some gold coins apparently, but I have always wanted to paint accent walls in my home, and even though I've rented, and I'm like, this is the time. This is the moment to do this.
Yeah.
And Jacqueline, this brings us again back to Jacqueline. Jacqueline appears to us through teal. More of a blue than green. So
teal.
It's her iconic color.
It was the teal she used to the Air Force One. the president's plane,
Yeah.
she had it painted in teal blue,
Teal blue.
but it's very much her trademark color. And
Yeah.
just like Lucy will come through using red.
Yeah.
James Dean uses red. Elizabeth uses purple.
Yeah.
For her, it is a distinctive teal blue.
Yeah.
And you painted one wall in your house.
So this is a fun story.
Teal blue.
This is such a fun story because I had a journal I was using and being such a good girl and working my journals, this beautiful teal, and I got it matched at Home Depot. No, we're not sponsored by Home Depot, but they matched the color. I painted this wall teal. And incidentally, this was also the moment where I felt very straitjacketed creatively in my life. And there was so much change. There was so much going on in COVID. And my roommate had left. I didn't know how I was going to afford anything. And things just magically were coming together. And I was in this program, Dream Tending and Deep Imagination. I was working with these people hosting a group called Sacred Play. It's a workshop where largely women, it was about 22 women and one very fabulous gay man, and all of us together, we just allowed ourselves to do things we wouldn't normally do. We started normally with acrylic paints, and we would like use our fingers. We would use like cutlery, like we would get like plastic utensils. We would, like, one girl had a daughter who had a hair ribbon. She used that to mark maker. We'd burn the paper, we'd tear it up, we'd put it back together. We'd use plastics like Trader
Sounds like
Joe's.
my kind of class. Yeah.
Not sponsored by Trader Joe's, but yeah, we get like plastic and we'd like paint it, but it was just so opening and expansive, and it helped, like, whether we were photographers or I'm a writer and very stuck in ways, like, it helped us to have this other place to open up and do process art. And it helped us then to do our other art forms once we kind of like let our hair down. It was like, it made things less imposing, less overwhelming, just to kind of just do it, like Dee Wallace, you talk about your acting coach, just like, get out of your head, just do it, just start, just like, we would even just like scribble on the page to get things going.
I was just going to say, I'm glad you brought up Dee Wallace, because we've had these conversations about how it's too easy to get way in your head.
Right.
It blocks the flow of your spirit. And when I used to take acting classes with Dee Wallace, of course, played the mother in E.T., the extraterrestrial. She was very much about channeling emotion, being very much in the moment, connecting with your partner, just allowing things to happen, because she felt that's how you allow life to come into a scene when it's on camera. And she used to tell us, you overthink something, it's death. You're killing it. You're impeding the flow. But anyway, you were saying.
No, that is exactly right. And that's what that's literally what came through during Sacred Play, but we also anchored it in dream work. And so our psyches would even connect. So sometimes we'd share from our personal lives, and then I'd be painting something and it would come out to look like this abstracted owl, and then somebody else would paint something that was like a mouse, and it was somehow like a conversation was happening between our paintings and we'd all be painting because it was on Zoom, so we were each in our own private areas.
And this was during lockdown.
I hosted this group for over 2 years, and I still host the group. Shout out, actually, this could be a wonderful moment to plug the fact that after the 4 years of the pandemic, Anastasia,
it's over.
It's probably not fully over, but at least it is for right now, for all intents and purposes. After 4 years, Anastasia Pavlov has finally published her website today.
I wanted to bring that up today. Yes, she did this. You did it today, didn't you? Just today. You have been talking about this
and working on it
forever and ever. And
yeah.
she was going to pull it up for me before we did the show, and I said, why don't we just do it
on air,
live on the air in the moment? As Dee Wallace always said, don't spoil the spontaneity of the moment and the life of it.
Oh my gosh. So I'm so curious what it looks like. I've been working on this.
Debbie just said, too bad these two don't like each other. Yeah. I am so sorry, folks. We haven't even been looking at your comments here because we've been so selfishly engrossed with each other. But anyway, what are you pulling up here?
I'm looking at my website.
You're pulling up your website. Let's see your website.
Let your dreams guide you. It's so pretty.
Folks, you're experiencing it.
It's so pretty.
In the moment as I'm experiencing it right now, live.
There's my photo.
That's such a pretty picture too.
That's before my breakup.
I
lost 40 pounds since last December, 30 of which because of a guy I was dating.
But I don't.
Sasha's biting me as a result.
We can go there if you want.
No, we don't have to
talk about that.
But
that's like 3 shows to itself.
That's 40 pounds ago. So I lost my COVID weight and then some. But yeah, so the sacred sphere, so THESACRED, sacred spheres, SPHERES, the sacredspheres.com. Some of you might know the music of the sphere. So but this is it's basically 4 spheres of influence I have in your life. Yeah, so it's a sacred dream, obviously the dream work I do. I have different access points though to entering your unconscious mind or subconscious mind, different ways by which we can find out what's really going on. Because you think, oh, my dream, there's this symbol or that, it's about this, that, or it's a guy I literally want to have sex with, or girl, or whatever. And in point of fact, yeah, that's a nice starting point. That's just a way for psyche to get your attention, and then it's going to go in a different direction, believe me, and then another different direction, and then you're going to find that what the dream is really an invitation into communication with and conversation.
Sorry, Sasha.
Friendship with these allies that come through not just the dreamscape, but your waking landscape. I could go on, that's for another time. There's also sacred play, which is the workshop I mentioned earlier. There's sacred community, which is like community tending. I have that's more going to be kind of like a blog, a vlog, and that's still kind of pending. It's in part what my Instagram is trying to be. It's kind of a mess, my Instagram. It's more like it's beautiful. I mean, it's beautiful, intuitive sort of photography and a couple of videos, but oh wow, no, you're fine. Yeah. But yeah, and then there's also a sacred ceremony. Yeah. And that's a big thing. If you're familiar with Malidoma Patrice Somme's work, he's an African shaman, essentially a holy person who he's now passed on. But one of his callings in life was to bridge sort of East and West, if you will, or bridge the indigenous really with the I don't know, the modern in some ways. And one of the biggest things missing in the West is ritual, even death, even the big things. Like we kind of try to do weddings way above and beyond, but even so, like the community I come from, a funeral is 3 days. We call it a dilla, which means a doing. It is a doing. There's even a day you are overnight with the body in an open casket. Oh, it is very intense, but it is meant for you to process and cry and weep and sing and dance and laugh and drink and eat. There's a kitchen there 24/7. People donate their time.
It just sounds like an explosion of emotions.
And of feelings, and it's so extraordinary. And but the thing is, it's not just about death. We need to ritualize so many facets of life, like whether it's a job, something exciting, it's a new job, and it feels like growth, but you also need to let go of what you're leaving, as well as the fact that it's going to be really uncomfortable in your new job as well at times. And there's so much to look at. So the work that I do is definitely therapeutic. I'm not a therapist. I am someone who works, again, very intuitively. I am trained through Pacifica Graduate Institute, through Dream Tending, Deep Imagination work. The man who founded that university, I'm trained through him. I'm certified. But yeah, it's very therapeutic. It's very sacred work. And I speak to all of that on the website. And actually just, I mean, in a sense, to sort of plug, that, I mean, I'm so happy. I'm so proud of myself. I finally, speaking of being straitjacketed and letting myself emerge.
It's incredible. I mean, I have watched her growth in the last 4 years. I think we got especially close during the lockdown. Pandemic lockdown. I still remember that first day at Trader Joe's. Oh yeah. And I set my wine glass down so I don't spill it. But it was the beginning of the lockdown. We both had like N95 masks on. We had hazmat. Thank you. We had the gloves on, the masks, everything. Glasses. We looked like we were entering a nuclear power plant
or ready to rob the joint because we had our masks on.
Somewhere I've got a photograph of us from that day. Yeah. And during the lockdown, we just
we were brought together.
We were definitely brought together.
And it was so wild because we ended up on the same page because we both lost our jobs almost immediately.
Almost exactly at the same time.
Yeah, like right when COVID hit, and also just in terms of, I think you lost your job maybe like a week after I did.
I think for me it was like March 20th or 21st.
Oh, then it was only days.
Yeah, it was very close.
March 15th.
It was very close.
Yeah.
But this is something we have just paralleled each other for the last 4 years in the most amazing ways. Like when we both the highs, the lows, the in between, shall we say, our little emotional meltdowns, our euphoria,
what meltdowns?
What meltdowns, our creative growth spurts, the opportunities that have come in our lives, to where it's just been uncanny, where it's almost like I can tell you something and or you tell me
Yeah.
something, and it's just exactly what the other
Oh, yeah.
person went through that day
Yeah.
or the day before.
Yeah.
So we've been wonderful for each other, just as
Yeah.
support for each other, because
Yeah.
nobody in the world understands each other better than we do,
Yeah.
because we
Yeah.
have been going through this all
Yeah.
together.
I mean, he's like my other half,
Yeah.
like my brother to my sister.
Yeah.
Yeah. Father to my mother.
In
Yeah.
fact, just as we're doing my show right now, I've
Twins.
already,
Twin
I
brother,
have,
sister.
Joyce is watching right now. I have proposed to Joyce that we guest together, because she's done my chart, your chart. She was
Yeah.
on Joyce's show. Was it last week?
Yeah. Last Monday.
Last week. Yeah, last
Yeah.
Monday. So since Joyce already has the charts, and I know she can do relationship charts, I would love if she
Yeah.
can put the two together,
Yes.
because I'd like to see what it says
Because
for us
it's
astrologically.
honestly, it's almost
Yeah.
scary. I mean, I will
Yeah.
be going through something, and then I record a voice memo, 20 minutes of me crying hysterically like a crazy person, and then you know, in another day, that's actually what Chuck is going through, or vice versa, or a celebration of a certain expansion, or you know, a job or a relationship or a person
Yeah.
coming into our life. Just it's so
It's
bizarre.
uncanny.
It's
Yeah,
just
I've never
No.
had a friendship like this, where
Yeah.
there's like a divine order. There's something.
Yeah. And there's something there,
Concurrently
and
running
I
through
think
us, yeah.
if this is really deep and real, but I mean, obviously I don't want to speak for Chuck on his behalf on live in front of the whole world.
What are you gonna tell people?
But no, it's that, like, growing up, both he and I dealt with, you know, with all due respect to our families, a certain level of
Abuse.
and emotionally unavailable parents who tried very, very, very hard, but it left us lacking to the extent that we
Emotionally scarred for life. No, I shouldn't make jokes.
But really, no, it's fine. It's important to laugh about it too. But it's, I mean, they tried so hard, but there was, like, in my household, it was like being raised by military drill sergeants. If you know, it was very cold, and if I needed a shoulder to cry on, I had to go find someone else, or God, as it were.
And I've shared with people, my mother. If anybody watched the Carol Burnett show and knows the character Eunice, that was my mother. My mother was Eunice. My mother had the same hairdo, had the same Southern accent, the whole attitude, the world is shitting on my head, all the angst. Imagine being a little kid being raised by Eunice. That's how I grew up. So much so that when I met Carol Burnett, I told her, my mother was the real life Eunice. And Carol Burnett was like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
And I said, no, it's okay. It's okay. You helped me to laugh about it. That's just a fact. You know?
Like a family member of mine literally telling me when I was working on this novel, and I was taking these notes while around family members, and she's like, why the hell would you do that? That is so pointless. You need to get a job. What the hell is wrong with you, Anastasia? She's like, you know what life is?
No, what is life?
Life fucks you in the ass and then you die.
Ah, I knew it.
So this was, you know, and again, why would this happen? They were in so much pain themselves. The thing is, I've spent my life understanding the pain others are in, seeing how much they suffer, and they didn't mean to project and vomit that all up on me, just as, you know, Chuck's parents didn't mean to vomit it all up on him. But
I'm just like, this is the first time on my live stream the F word has ever been off.
We threw the F bomb out there.
We've thrown it out several times
now.
But okay.
It doesn't work, because that's actually the quote from a family member.
It wouldn't be us otherwise. So anyway,
but that's literally what the person said.
Yes.
So, but he and I have spent our lives walking on eggshells around other people, terrified to upset anybody, and feeling the void of not really having the mother or father that we need emotionally. It's not that my father didn't work his ass off for us, sacrifice and suffer so much, but in the end, my gosh, like we want to, like, you know, this is so touching, but like, we want a mommy, you know, like when you think of a mom, like you're sick and you don't feel good, you want someone to literally just like envelop you, and like, you want to just like snuggle in, like I snuggle into Galaxy's little fat furry bum or belly. Well, and so in the end, I feel like I have attracted certain people throughout my life who have been very, very close friends, but never to the extent of Chuck, where it's not just a friend, and it's not even a brother. It's literally a mate for my soul, in the sense that not in a romantic sense. It's in the sense of like, it's something I need that I couldn't get from my mother and father, that I can get through a friend, where it's very
incredibly
safe.
Touching. I've never had this kind of rapport with anybody before, and we just assist each other constantly with our growth, our evolution. We're sounding boards for each other. We're not afraid to. I use the word Oprah Winfrey's ugly cry.
Yeah.
We're not
Yeah.
afraid to get petty and
Yeah.
silly and
Yeah.
sad and angry or
Yeah.
whatever, because
Yeah.
we trust each other. We know each other, that we can be completely ourselves with each other.
Yeah.
And we have a unique way of communicating.
Yeah.
Because as you have seen, we tend to talk over each other because we both get so excited. So many times instead of phone calls, we do a thing where we send long voice memos
yeah.
to each other. I mean, but long.
Occasionally
voice
an hour.
memos. Yes, an hour. But
Take
it's
a walk, listen to me.
but it's a great way where we can just talk and say what we want to say.
Yeah.
And we've also gone to the point where we take notes for each other, because we
Yeah.
both get intuitive hits
Yeah.
from what the other's saying, because
Yeah.
because we're both so intuitive, we know
Yeah.
it's not always about the words, it's
Yeah.
about what's encoded in the words. It's
Yeah.
what's underneath the words,
Yeah.
the emotion. And we're both very good at picking that up on each other. To sometimes I can like feel my spirit guides talking to me, like getting
Yeah.
really tough on her,
Telling me things I don't want to hear.
and I'm like, and I'll be recording voice messages going, I'm so sorry, this isn't me, this is the spirit guides, they're making me say this.
Blame it on Jimmy Dean.
Yeah, don't be mad at me, but now they're telling you need to get your act together, and you're in your ego right now. It's like that. But she does it for me too. But it's because we understand that in each other, and we know
judgment.
and without judgment, and it's always with love and with compassion. And I think we're both in agreement. We'd sooner die than hurt each other.
Yeah,
but we have, as you know.
Yeah, but of course we have hurt each other too.
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta get over that.
We're human beings. We're friends. You go through all of this, but for the most part, we had one of those confessionals.
Radical honesty.
Yeah, radical honesty. Now tell me, what are things that I've done that have made you mad? What are things that have made you mad? That type of thing. Stuff that we normally would never tell. And I had, and
more
this
wine
is
on that.
Yeah, more wine on this. But the thing is, and this is a tribute to my beautiful friend here, I could only come up with 4 things, and they were minor things, so minor I didn't even think they were worth bringing up. I thought, okay, you asked, so there was this, and you told me a few things, but relatively there wasn't much. We haven't had many problems with each other, and that's amazing, considering we also used to have the dynamics of working together. She used to be my boss.
Yeah,
but it's just what we just,
and
always go on.
He even told my current boss how great a boss I was, and plugged me at work. And incidentally, I did recently get a promotion, so
well,
I'm a boss again of other people. Maybe
back where you belong, honey.
Well, that brings us full circle to hello, Dolly. It's so nice to see you back.
Yes,
where you belong.
Because someone here asked for you to sing. I apologize, folks. As you can see, we have clearly been not looking at the comments. We've been looking at each other. So
and I also didn't finish my Teal Jacqueline story.
Will you finish that while I'm scrolling back here? I want to see what we missed here.
So I went on the tangent about sacred play and the workshop and painting.
This is so sweet. Whimsy's watching.
Oh, I love you, Whimsy.
Yeah,
I miss you.
Yeah. We went to the Hollywood Bowl together, the 3 of us.
That's
to see.
Paul Simon.
Paul Simon. Yeah, the 3 of us. And how.
Thank you, Stephanie and Tammy.
Yes. Thank you.
Tickets.
Thank you, Stephanie and Tammy. Yes, they gave us the tickets. But you know how many of us we have our own friends, but you can't help but want to bring your friends together with your other friends, because you're going to get along. And I knew that Whimsy and Anastasia were just made for each other. Both so intellectual, but so down to earth and so funny and warm and silly.
And Whimsy might not know this, but because I worked with Chuck in supplements and health and wellness and the natural products.
And that's where I met Whimsy
for a long time. I worked in that industry for a while, and I was a buyer and order and worked under an ND and an MD and did also I was a brand ambassador. I did all sorts of things at pretty high levels. I helped to open some locations, and it was very challenging industry, but
they so appreciated you.
Yeah, they so appreciated me in ways. Yes, in ways
that's sarcasm, folks.
Not at all. Yeah. But I almost became a naturopathic doctor. I actually visited NCNM. I was looking around either Bestie or NCNM to do my ND, and I actually went there. I did a tour. I did
you and Whimsy could have really talked.
I know, but
and of course Whimsy trained me. personally trained me.
Yeah.
God bless Whimsy. She personally trained me to get my naturopathic doctor's assistant's
Yeah.
license. And
Yeah.
it's Whimsy and I.
Go back as
We
well.
go back to
Yeah.
back to 2012 with you, 2016 with Whimsy, but I bet
Yeah.
both of you
Yeah.
in that store in West Hollywood.
Yeah.
And to this day, you're two of the dearest people in my life. But anyway, you keep talking.
I'll
I'm going to
keep
look at,
talking.
I got to scroll and
just
see what I've missed
so you
here.
know,
Comments.
Sasha's on my lap right now and we're petting her. She's
I could
being really sweet right now.
I'm thinking of that Johnny Carson story, Zsa Zsa Gabor. Oh, we've gotten raunchy already. Zsa Zsa Gabor was on the Tonight Show and she had a kitten in her lap and she was petting it. And she actually goes, Johnny, you want to pet my pussy?
Oh, Zsa Zsa.
And Johnny paused. Sure. Move the cat.
Oh, snap.
Anyway,
Wow.
keep talking. I'm going to scroll here.
Jacqueline, all right. So because of Sacred Play, so I entered Sacred Play, a workshop I've co-founded with another amazing artist, and I entered it as a writer. I actually had never painted in my life.
And
ever until this moment. And because of her name is Victoria, I won't give her last name since I don't have her full permission.
I gave you your first paints.
Chuck actually bought me my first paints because when you're doing dream work, while someone's talking about their dream, you just start scribbling, sketching. You just kind of let yourself flow, and it becomes an offering back to the person sharing their dream, because a dream is so sacred. It's so personal. It's so intimate. Like Dr. Jean Houston, who's a really famous.
Whimsy said, can she sing the chants for us?
I might be able to. I can't sing the chants for my people, so to speak, from the ethnic.
I think she just said she'd like to hear you sing.
I'll definitely sing. No, for sure.
Okay, but I'll let you finish your story.
So, you want to offer again something back to the dreamer. It's very sacred act. And I was mentioning something about Dr. Jean Houston. That comment we'll let that fall. But to the wayside, to the cutting room floor. But yeah, so I'm sorry. Okay. I swear to God, I'm not drunk at all. I'm Russian. I have a high tolerance.
Bolts.
All right. So Jacqueline, back to Jacqueline.
Yes,
so I entered into Sacred Play writing. And I wrote this amazing poem that Victoria, the woman with whom I co-founded the group, she actually said, I see that almost Basquiat style on a canvas. I see words with paint. And I confess, I'm like, I don't even know how to even begin with paint. But Chuck had bought me some my first acrylic paint set.
Your first set of acrylic paints.
He did. And
because as I recall, you were asking me what kind of paints you should use.
Yeah.
And I said, I think you would love acrylics because they're versatile.
Yeah, they dry fast.
They dry quickly, but you can dilute them, use them as watercolors. You can use them straight from the tube, oil, or you can semi-dilute, tempera. So I knew you'd love it. But anyway.
I loved it. And so so Victoria and I did almost like a one-on-one Sacred Play workshop, and she started to give me some instruction, and she unleashed a Pandora's box. It was definitely like a dam that was about to burst. Water was coming out, but there was something. It was just Victoria had to she got the sledgehammer, went bam, and the dam burst open. In like 2 to 3 years, I painted like 350 plus things. I could not stop painting. I created an Etsy shop. The Etsy shop shut down, so don't go to Etsy. But that's a whole long story. But I scanned a bunch of stuff. I created shoes and shirts, and I was making prints and selling originals. It was so fun. It was all intuitive. It's channeled. It was in flow. It was powerful. There's so much energy in these pieces because they just bam, bam, bam came through me. But in that moment, I finally let myself start painting my house. I painted a teal wall.
It's beautiful.
In honor of Jacqueline, which was the first one. And then I painted another teal. I did a green. I did a forest green. I did a blood red wall with ox blood.
But it was so ritualistic for you.
It was very ritualistic.
It was claiming this as your home.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I reminded you of this because you were fearful of even doing that. And I said, paint is one of the least expensive and easiest ways to change the personality of a room.
Yeah.
And it's very simple to cover up if you need to.
Exactly.
You move out. And you took the suggestion and it You agree,
It
it
changed
changed your home,
everything. And
the
there
whole
was something I
personality.
didn't even know what to do with this particular. I have a chandelier that the last tenants left, and it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's
I
a
love her
kitchen.
home. I
It
just
is pretty
yeah.
cute.
It is pretty cute. Yeah.
Yeah, in the kitchen space is this little chandelier, and then I painted the wall teal, and then I could hear very clearly from guidance through Jacqueline, because I painted it Jacqueline Teal, as Chuck and I call it, and then I put this gold, beautiful phantom thread. If you're familiar with Paul Thomas Anderson, I'm
Yeah.
definitely a cinephile, and I painted this beautiful. Sorry, we're getting deep.
I just
right
saw
now.
here. Joyce just said she's going to do our composite chart.
Ooh,
So
I can't wait. Thank
Joyce,
you, Joyce.
have us on next week.
Oh, that would be so fun.
Or when you're ready. But
When you're
yes,
ready.
have us on soon.
So
But,
yeah,
okay.
so I put this gorgeous gold framed poster of Paul Thomas Anderson's, not sponsored by PTA, Phantom Thread, one of my favorite films, at least in the last.
Oh yes,
like,
I've seen it 4 times because of her.
Yeah, and we saw it together at
the ArcLight.
Cinemas Hollywood in 70mm. It was an extraordinary
I have the Blu-ray of
event.
it. Yeah.
But so it's this beautiful teal wall, this gorgeous gold poster. But I needed a rug or something in the kitchen. So, all right. So all of this is the story.
Yeah.
So I am doing dream work with this woman in New Delhi in India. She was my dyad partner in the first level. I went to 3 levels of this program. By the way, $50 off to anyone who wants to work with me.
Oh yes. Hey, and as you can see, it is worth it. Trust me.
You will have the time of your life.
She is a brilliant intuitive. You have so much love, so much empathy, so much compassion.
Thank you.
Yeah, so much depth. Yes, she's worth it. $50 off, folks. Go for it. Anyway,
yes,
I'm just going to answer a question here. Someone wants to know about the pictures on the wall.
Oh yeah.
I'm just going to tell this real quick.
Oh yeah, someone asked if it's Mary.
Yeah, so let's get that out of the way. Yeah. No, that's Clara Bow. Now, I have a very big, as you know, I'm the big Hollywood buff. That's what I usually talk about on the show, old Hollywood. I love Lucy. if you watch my channel, Chuck's Captivating Chats, please like and subscribe.
Yes.
I do a lot of videos about old Hollywood. So hence, I have a big collection. It took me like 30 years to put this together of autographed photos, contracts, checks from old stars. They're fully authentic. So these are all autographed. Just to answer your question real quick. Clara Bow, Charlie Chaplin, Harold Lloyd, Harry Langdon. This wall right here are silent film stars.
Yeah.
I have Rudolph Valentino, Douglas Fairbanks, but sometime I could take this laptop and just give you a tour of the whole apartment.
He has a better museum than any museum in Hollywood.
Actually, I do.
I've worked in the industry. I also act. I perform in Hollywood, and I have some credits. And actually, don't look at my credits.
Don't look at mine either.
They're very debauched.
Porn?
Actually. No, it's not porn. But anyway, no, I come from this immigrant family, but one of the things that gave us solace when we came here from Russia was actually cinema. When the ArcLight Cinemas Hollywood opened up the Cinerama Dome, technically it was through Pacific Theaters. They opened up the Cinerama Dome in 1963. It was for the premiere of It's a Mad, 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 Mad World. And my family went in the first 3 months that they premiered that movie and opened it. We are rabid cinephiles and film people. Yeah. And that's another
thing we share in common.
That Chuck and I share. We're writers, we're actors. We are obsessed with
writers,
Hollywood.
We're actors, we're artists,
and
cinephiles.
And we have met like everybody you could imagine in Hollywood.
That's true.
Even Brad Pitt and Leo DiCaprio.
Oh yeah,
and Barbara Streisand and Kylie Minogue.
Exactly.
And Adrian Brody.
In fact, I say that in the intro to my channel. I have met an estimated 500 celebrities. I bet you have too.
At least, and I worked with them because I used to do events. I can say this now because they're out of business. So I used to work for ArcLight Cinemas Hollywood. I did huge red carpets.
Did you put them out of business?
Premieres. I was there. I closed the location down during COVID. But yeah, I did premieres, red carpets. I have met everyone. It was the time of my life. I had so much fun. Even Christian Bale, the ghost of a shell that is Christian Bale.
Do you know I met Christian Bale many years ago? Remember American Psycho?
Of course.
I met him the week American Psycho premiered.
Oh my God.
And you've met him, of course. He's so opposite. He has is it Welsh?
He's Welsh.
He's Welsh. So he has a thick Welsh accent. He just does American accents impeccably.
Yeah.
So it was very strange having seen that movie.
Yeah.
And here's this young man just in a t-shirt and jeans and sneakers speaking in a Welsh accent. He was nothing like
Yeah.
what Patrick Bateman, that was his character, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The psycho, you know, he
Yeah.
was impeccably dressed and
Yeah.
groomed and a psycho. But anyway, you know,
Yeah.
something Joyce just said here, that's the best. You even finish each other's sentences.
We do.
Yeah, as you see, we just interrupt each other. This is why we have to send voice memos to each
Yeah,
other,
'cause
so
otherwise
we don't interrupt each
Yeah.
other.
Speaking of which, we interrupted the beautiful Jacqueline story. So I am doing dream work with I'm not going to say her name, a woman in India.
She didn't snag you.
No, she's fine. Shastra's moving around my fishnet stockings. So I'm doing this dream tending session with this woman in India, and from out of nowhere, the wind starts blowing very, very hard. And this is LA. It was, you know, spring. I mean, it was just a normal 75-degree Fahrenheit day.
Another day in paradise.
Another day in paradise. And then from nowhere, the wind just starts blowing. And I'm looking outside. I'm like, I was gonna call her Jane just to say something. I'm like, Jane,
Jane Doe.
what in the world is going on right now? I don't know. I'm like, well, let's finish our session. So we finished our session, and I just felt led to kind of walk outside, open my back door, or actually it's my front door technically, and kind of just check things out. And remember, if you were paying attention to my, again, circumlocucious mind and how I've been talking, I was mentioning the teal wall I painted and the fact that I kind of wanted a rug in my kitchen. There was a beautiful gold. Like, everything was kind of working together color-wise. I liked what was happening, but I needed a rug. Well, after that weird bananas windstorm from out of nowhere, it lasted 20 minutes. I open this door of mine. I look down, and there is this rug all rolled up waiting for me there.
I know, that's amazing.
It was teal. It had hints of red, which I eventually painted a wall close, you know, adjacent to it, oxblood red. It had gold in it. It had all the colors in my
beautiful.
home.
It's gorgeous.
And it was an indoor-outdoor rug, which was imperative. It's kind of almost a plasticky kind of texture, interestingly, but it's gorgeous.
I know, it looks like it was made for your house.
Because of the indoor-outdoor effect, because I ended up painting there. Because remember, I ended up painting 300 some odd things. It was so wild. And I'm in a text thread with we have 8 units and 2 person per unit. And I sent a little group text to everyone. I was like, does anyone know whose rug this is? And someone literally said, when that wind hit, for some reason, it blew like Mary Poppins. It literally blew the rug into our property through our gate. And one of my
I was just envisioning Mary Poppins.
Yeah, one of my apartment mates thought it was mine and put it by my back or front door.
Well, it was yours.
And
That's why it was put there.
And I'm like, well, I'm going to claim it and keep it. And maybe someone in the neighborhood, it was theirs. I don't know. Like, it flew off their patio. It was so wild. So Jacqueline literally created the interior design for my home. So where there is great love, there are even greater miracles.
Yes,
and some people like, oh, I channeled Jacqueline, Kennedy, Bouvier, Kennedy Onassis, or Lucille Ball. Like, think what you want to think, believe what you want to believe. But at the end of the day, it's like, if
we know our truth.
We know our truth. And when you have a big heart and you're open and you want to receive and you really believe it and you have no expectations of how it will unfold, magic will happen.
Yes, it will.
It will.
It's happening right now.
It is happening.
It's happening right now. We've talked. How many years have we talked about doing something together like this?
Since the last time he filmed me, actually in this same dress.
Oh yes, that's
because I only own one dress.
She only owns one. She's like what? Olive oil. There was a Popeye cartoon once where it was olive oil. She always wore that same outfit, but it was olive oil going. Popeye goes, "Hey, Olive, you want to go out on a date?" Calls her on the phone, and she says, "Oh, what am I going to wear?" And she opens her closet, and it's like 30 identical outfits on hangers.
Yeah, this is my Judge Judy outfit. I am a judge, jury, and executioner.
Yeah. Oh.
Fun fact: I've been on 20 episodes of Judge Judy, but in the audience. It's when I had purple hair and they forced me to slick it back. I was in the audience many, many times. I'll have to send you one of my sister saw me and took a screenshot of me on Judge Judy. It was pretty funny. But So.
But anyway, we were saying. We were doing this was when you were entertaining the notion of becoming a film critic.
Yeah,
which you're very good at. You're excellent. So she came over here to my apartment, and there's a chair over here, which I won't show right now because, see, outside of camera range doesn't look so good right now. This
It's
camera angle,
especially curated
this
for you.
camera angle hides a multitude of sins, so I don't want to show the rest of the apartment right now. But anyway, she sat in my chair
Yeah.
and I recorded her doing movie reviews, and which were just excellent. And you were good. Did you ever put those on your channel?
They're on a different. I have like 7 YouTube channels.
Okay.
I start and
Well,
stop
plug
a
them
lot of-
all here if you want, honey.
Well, yeah, I mean, I do have a YouTube channel at the Sacred Spheres. That is also my Instagram. That is also my website. That is also my Gmail. So the Sacred Spheres at gmail.com. Feel free to just say hi. I
Yeah.
am a writer. I love writing. I love
Me too.
epistolary relationships. In fact, I might write a novel that is literally just an epistolary novel. It's literally just
Yeah.
letters in a novel.
Well, she is brilliant. She is a brilliant writer. Well, you are.
I only reflect his brilliance.
Well, thank you.
We are both brilliant.
We both are
both
brilliant.
geniuses.
But that's another thing we share in
Yeah.
common. We both love to write.
We're both amazing
We talk
writers.
about writing. We love to talk about art. We love to talk about movies.
And we actually do it too.
We talk about smut.
We're dirty girls.
We get childish.
Yeah.
Guess what, folks? We get childish and
Yeah.
silly.
This is how we stay so gorgeously young.
Is that a secret?
For the camera. But I think we're probably nearing the end of our
Well, we
time
have. Debbie
together.
just reminded we've hit the hour point. But this has been fun.
This has been so fun. But I think one thing we need to do is maybe just answer a couple of
Yeah, I
chats.
need to just look here and see what we've missed here. I apologize, folks, but as you can see, we've been having fun.
Smash our like buttons, our subscribe buttons, that little button, okay? That is the bell that will get you to get notifications.
But we've had Debbie and Joyce and Whimsy and
Chuck,
Pam. Oh, you and Pam are going to love each other.
Whimsy asked, how ancient is the sect from which I come? There are different schools of thought. It goes back thousands of years. Some say we are sort of a lost tribe. So I don't know, until the dawn of time. I don't know.
Yeah.
The beginning of human civilization. So around I'd say 2,000-3,000 years old or so.
Yeah.
So we're Jewish adjacent, as it were. And then there's some folks who believe that it was more so somebody who converted us to what we believe. About, I'd say 500-600 years ago, but it was in the 17th century when we fasted at a feast for the Orthodox Church because they had unclean foods, and because of how we fasted, that kind of created a name for us. And they're like, "Oh, you people, we're sending you to the south, never to be heard from again, or we're just going to annihilate you right now. Good luck, bullseye on your head," So. So that, there are different schools of thought, and I don't feel comfortable sharing the exact name because they are still, even though we left Russia, when we came to America, we created walls around our community. We practice endogamy. We marry into the community. So I was not even raised American. To marry an American is to marry someone out of our group. I'm neither American nor Russian. Because I went back to Russia and they definitely didn't accept me as being Russian. So I went when I was
I'm not surprised.
Younger.
You're just you.
I'm just me. But so thank you for that question.
Yeah.
Let's answer a few more questions.
Here.
We have a request to maybe, I guess I'm gonna
you've had a request to sing a chant.
We are not Russian Orthodox.
Whimsy Theater, the Lord's Prayer in
Russian.
In Russian, please.
I know it, and it's like Pigeon Russian. I do know it. It's called Ochanash. It's so Russians listening to me. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Just keep talking. I'm scrolling through the questions here. We're so professional here, folks.
I can't remember it. Oh my gosh. Oh wow, yeah. But Ochanash. Oh wow. I can barely remember it.
Pam said, "I'm totally enjoying the ride."
You're enjoying the ride. We are too. Thank you, Joyce, for my website. That's amazing.
Joyce does want to do our. I think I said that she wants to do our composite chart. Maybe we'll be on next week.
Yeah.
I answered the question about the pictures on the wall.
Oh, can I see?
Look, Debbie, put your website on here. Thank you, Debbie.
I'm feeling led to close this out with it's actually from "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?" I've sung it before on a YouTube channel. It's kind of fun. Also keep in mind I have had the longest work week. I am I don't know if you can hear. I'm not just normally
You're
sultry like this. I am very hoarse today.
You're a little.
I'm hoarse. I'm a little hoarse.
She's a little
I'm a little
hoarse, and
pony
I said
today.
you're more like a little kitty cat or a.
And I didn't even warm up my singing voice.
But you're a little hoarse.
To do vocalies, we do vivo, 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 wee wah, wee wah, wee wah, wee wah, wee wah, wee wah, vivo, 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 vivo. All right.
Okay.
So this will just be something just whatever. Here, you can do that.
Okay.
As I go down the river to pray, studying about that good old way, and who shall wear wrong and ground, good Lord, show me the way. Oh, sinners, let's go down, come on down. Oh, sinners, let's go down in the river to pray. As I lay down in the river to pray, studying about that good old way, and who shall wear star and crown, good Lord, show me the way.
Beautiful.
There we go.
I clap for you, but I don't want to spill my wine. But that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Let's see. Debbie, remind us. Yeah, we hit the hour. Oh, we're at the hour and 15-minute point.
No, but we'll be ending in a moment.
We'll end in a moment. But that's the beauty of these YouTube
Take me
shows.
to church. You went hosier.
Take me to the church.
No, that's an amazing song.
I know it's an amazing song.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
No, yeah. Actually, the song I sing by Hosier is a work song.
And sorry, I had a message.
We're getting messages. Yeah.
You know what this is? You know what this is? In my YouTube channel, I actually get a lot of messages now. People writing me in response to the videos, and that was one popping in right now.
What a gift!
But wouldn't you say this is the most delightful ride? Social media and what we're doing right now, doing these shows, doing this show right now, all the friends we're making.
Yeah.
Like Joyce and Pam. And Debbie have become Joyce and Pam and Debbie have become very dear friends.
Yeah.
And the weird thing is we've never physically met. It's all been virtual like this, but hey, I mean, that's the beauty of this.
And that pandemic actually amplified this. But
that's it. But I was just going to say, you and Joyce are becoming friends now, and I know you and Pam are going to, you two are going to meet and connect, and it's going to be like this virtual, but it's beautiful. See. I know we sound old, don't we? We're talking like, wow, this fangled technology here where we can do this, but it is amazing.
No matter your generation, X, Y, Z, or Boomer, or wherever you are on the spectrum, Alpha, I mean, we're all learning how to utilize technology in a whole new way and appreciate it. There's AI, NFTs. If I have another person ask me to make them an NFT, I'm going to, strangle them. But ultimately, this is such a gift. Like, to be born right now and for us to still be alive. I've lost a lot of people have died in my life, and to be alive still and to be able to utilize this technology and to connect with you, I think we need to wrap this up. And I think that's a good segue to say, what a blessing and what a gift to connect with everyone who is here and to listen to what you're saying, to answer some of your questions. We're happy to answer more in time, but just to be able to connect like this, what a gift that we can talk to people all around the world.
Oh my God. And all over the world, literally all over the world.
And talk about the things that we love most in the world, and allow that heart space that grows and grows, that makes us so excited to help you get excited about what you love and help you feel expansive and help you feel in the truth of who you are. It's an amazing gift that we can share this, and that it can translate, like our emotional sensibility, our loves, our passions, and these miracles that we've shared about who we are, how we know each other, and all of the glory that is, like the fact that we can channel and talk to people like Lucille Ball and Elizabeth Taylor and Jimmy Dean and all these extraordinary people, Jacqueline, and lest we forget, Joan Rivers is also here today.
Yes.
So,
and we both channel Joan.
We both channel Joan in a very intense
that's
way.
Another show.
That's another show.
Well, I think you agree. She needs to be a regular guest on this show at least once a month.
So.
Wouldn't you say at least once a month?
At least once a
month.
But
I have a feeling Joyce and Pam are going to be fighting for you too.
Snap.
I think you're just going to be the rotating guest star. That's going to be your role.
In the brothel on his night. No.
Yes, the guest star, the special, special guest appearance.
Special slush. Oh, God.
I didn't say
The
that.
special slut of Hollywood in the
I
brothel
did
of
not say that.
Anastasia.
Those are your words, not mine. I
They
said
are my
special,
words.
special
Yeah.
guest star,
No.
guest star.
And again, this is
appearance.
how I normally talk, whether there's
This
wine
is how we
involved
do
or
normally
not.
talk. You know, this is why I wanted to have her on. And,
Yeah.
you know, this is probably the least prepared I've ever been for a show. Believe me, when I'm cleaning up cat vomit 5 minutes before going on the air, you know, but I said, you know what? I just have this intuitive feeling that all we need to do is just sit down in front of the camera and start talking like we do
'Cause
when
all
we're out
trained
on a walk.
professionals.
Yes, we're trained professionals. But I knew if all we had to do was just get together and start talking and start channeling,
Yeah.
and we were going to have our show. And
Yeah.
I hope you folks agree that that's what
Yeah.
we've done. I see we
Yeah.
don't have any comments anymore. Maybe people have tuned out by now. But
Thank you for being here.
but we just thank you so very much.
Yeah.
I'm just going to quickly plug, you know, Sasha. I don't know where she is right now. Well,
Sasha's literally been on my lap.
you can hold her up if you want. Sasha has her own channel, Sasha's Siamese Secrets. Please like and subscribe. And shall I say it? I hit 1,000 subscribers the other night.
Yay!
Yes, for Chuck's Captivating Chronicles.
Yay!
And I just thank everybody who's made this
Yay.
possible. And
Thank
I
you
mean
so
everybody.
much.
And I know Debbie, my manager, she's very modest about this. So you don't need to thank me, but I feel I do. Thank you, Debbie.
Thank you, Debbie.
I could not have possibly have done this without you. And the loving support, people like Joyce and Pam, you know, all of you, you're incredible. And yeah, I'm 1,000 subscribers. So yes, like and subscribe. Chuck's Captivating Chronicles. Keep watching Chuck's Captivating Chat Mondays at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. And now, what would you like to promote before we go? What would you like to plug?
Please don't forget to go check out my website. It was published today after many months of work, thesacredspheres.com. And leave me any feedback if need be at thesacredspheres at gmail.com.
Any feedback, huh?
Any feedback. I'd love to connect with you. And anyone who's watching this who would like to do a one-on-one custom session, $50 off, just reference that you were here with us, Chuck and Anastasia here today. That would be amazing. I'm on Instagram as well at The Sacred Spheres. It's mostly intuitive photography and some fun videos. So you get to,
those kind of videos. Really?
No, it's such
really?
Really. So it's such a pleasure to have met you and to have seen you again. You are love incarnate.
Yes.
Go and share that with the world, because again, where there's great love, there are even greater miracles.
Wow.
Mwah.
That's good.
I think I'm stealing that from someone else.
I think I was not going to say that, but I was thinking that. Yeah, I've heard that before, but it is good.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I think I know exactly where it's from.
Anyway, I thank my guest star, Anastasia.
Hello.
Pavlov.
And goodbye.
And we will be doing this again. And in fact, we'll probably be together on Joyce's show next Monday. Mystic Soul Insights, 12 noon on, that's 12 noon Pacific. Mondays, let's see, that's 3 p.m. Eastern. Okay.
All right.
And be sure to watch Pomona Remembers. Both these ladies have just launched their channels, and they're doing phenomenal jobs. And see, Pomona's show is 5 o'clock Pacific, Saturdays, 8 o'clock Eastern. Okay, I got my plugs in, and I thank you all for joining. This has been an hour and 25 minutes, the longest show I've ever done, but it feels like the fastest and most fun show I've ever done. So thank you all, and I'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.